society. As John Vogel notes in his review of the film, In the Heat of the Night surprised the prognosticators by taking the Best Picture prize and 4 other Oscars. Considering its theme of racial tolerance, it seemed an appropriate choice at an Oscar ceremony that was postponed following the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The film's theme made it timely, but its artistry makes it timeless. Do the Right Thing addresses the theme of racism with a series of questions. Which method of attaining equality is the right way? Peace or force? And what is the outcome of either action? Do the Right Thing, in contrast to In the Heat of the Night, focuses on several ethnic groups in relation to racism. The major characters in Do the Right Thing aren't fully fleshed out until the climax of the film. Mookie, played by Spike Lee, begins as a somewhat racially tolerant person, only concerned with making money and remaining peaceful. Suddenly, Mookie shifts, becoming the initiator of the riot at the end of the film, showing a deep, violent rage. Sal, played by Danny Aiello, begins as a man who wants to run his business and shows no sign of prejudice toward his customers. While Sal shows signs of rage in his outbursts with the secondary characters Radio Raheem and Buggin' Out earlier in the film, it's Sal's repressed prejudice that's revealed in a major character change when he smashes Radio Raheem's radio prior to the riot, repeatedly screaming the word nigger. Radio Raheem, a name symbolic of his constant blasting radio, is an archetype character, representative of highly aggressive, unpredictable initiators of conflict. Buggin' Out's character is established in the person he appears in. He is intense and favors force, while he never personally uses force. Buggin' Out is the match that lights the fire in Radio Raheem to have the confrontation with Sal that led to the riot at the end of the film. The prejudice in these characters is representative of deep-rooted racial tension, stemming from poverty and inequality. As the temperature rises in Do the Right Thing, the tension and circumstances in the film's climax cause many of the characters to explode with violence. The police are extremely racist and care for nobody's well-being in the film. As the police engage in police brutality by choking Radio Raheem, they provide the final element to initiate an explosive riot. The ending of Do the Right Thing doesn't seem to indicate a positive change for future race relations. The actions and behaviors of all the characters show that racism is still rampant and causes damage to society. And the final words exchanged between Sal and Mookie offer no resolution to the racial tensions of the film. The quotes from Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X, included in the credits by director Spike Lee, showcase that the future of race relations seem to once again depend on what methods people choose in future struggles for equality, violence, or peace. Heat is a motif related to the racial theme in both Do the Right Thing and In the Heat of the Night. Representative of racism being considered a hot topic of discussion and the rising climate of the characters' tensions, as well as the heat rising in the Heat of the Night. The use of the color red is an element of mise-en-scène used to convey heat in the film Do the Right Thing, such as the bright red brick wall on the street and the use of red in the color scheme of Mookie's wardrobe. Music is used to define characters in the film. Radio Raheem blasts his radio in every scene he appears in, always playing the same chaotic Fight the Power by Public Enemy, showcasing the tension and anger his character brings into every scene. Sal, the mother, Mayor, and mother sister always have soft blues suites featured in their scenes to show the soft sides of their characters. In the Heat of the Night uses music to help set the scene of the Deep South in the 1960s. Do the Right Thing occurs over a one-day period on one block in Brooklyn, New York on the hottest day of the year in 1989. The environment of racism in the United States may have changed by 1989, but racism was far from extinct, as Gordon Weldy notes in his article, Affirming Affirmative Action, Rejecting New Racism. Old racism was manifested in a direct and personalized prejudice of white Americans against persons of color. Persons of color are literally prejudged. The new racism preserves the institutional racism while masking, but not eliminating, the individual displays of prejudice which gave the old racism its vulgarity. I personally can't say I've never engaged in a racial thought or stereotype in my life. However, in watching these films and observing the situations presented in real-life scenarios, as we see every day, I've adopted the view that race and ethnicity do not determine a person's value. I believe all people deserve equal treatment, and their conduct in society and life should determine how they are viewed as individuals, not their color or creed. While my feelings won't change the actions of others, films with racial themes may be an avenue of communication that will improve the actions and feelings of people today and of future generations. Any questions?
In here tonight, do you know the race of the director for that?
The race of the director. He was a white man of Jewish descent.
Did you have to watch those films in class, or did you watch them on your own?
Those films were partially presented in class, and we did have to watch them on our own. I actually took the time and bought all the films and really gave them a good, lengthy overview. The paper that I read to you just now is an abridged version of the paper that I submitted.
You speak very well.
Thank you.
What do you plan on doing for your future career goals?
I'm currently pursuing an undergraduate degree at Queens College in secondary education of social studies.
Any other questions?
Anyone else?
Great job.
I thank Professor O'Connor.